I thought today we would talk about a pattern of behavior that has been very off putting to me, and I decided to discuss this after an event yesterday that really annoyed me. So, I on Saturday talked about a user who had previously been a feature of my channel, and after being asked to apologize, had decided to make a video about me. My name in the title, where a lot of incorrect things were stated. Now, I would have just left it at that because whatever. But yesterday, and let me give you a little bit more preamble. There was a user who I started watching last year, who talks about a variety of things, kind of like myself. Sometimes he'll talk about the news. Sometimes he'll talk about Dragon Ball. Sometimes he'll talk about, just a variety of things. And I like variety in my content creators. I'm not saying that's something they have to do, but I welcome the ability for anyone to discuss different things if they would like. But when this person would discuss Dragon Ball, a lot of times me and them would have similar points. They would talk about not liking power levels, not liking all the transformations. We agreed on a lot of different things. Hello, Roman King. And when you have someone who you agree with very frequently on things with, you would think that that would spare the likelihood of you coming into not necessarily blows with that person, but conflict with them. Because this person often will criticize other people who talk about Dragon Ball. And specifically, they'll insult people who use, clickbaity thumbnails. They take some picture from some website that somebody drew and they go, well, this happened eventually in Super. Or they'll spread false information. Like they'll say, hey, Super is coming back in August, or the next movie is going to be announced in October for sure. This person typically will go after behavior like that. And I really don't have a problem with that because a lot of that stuff I don't really see as being that helpful. But again, when you watch someone who uh, insults people over those types of things and you don't do those types of things, you're under the assumption that you probably won't also be insulted because you do the exact opposite. Well, I clicked on this person's stream because I sometimes watch them when they're streaming. Not as much as last year because last year they did something that got on my nerves. Not to me directly, but just to other people. And literally the first thing I see on their video, which is almost over, as I come to find out they're ending their stream, is a screenshot of me. I don't think I've ever clicked on a live stream where less than a minute into it, I just had my mouth just on the floor, agape. Couldn't believe it. But I said, let me go against my better judgment because people will sometimes accuse me of being a negative person. Um, and I oftentimes will go against that. I'll say, no, I just know how people work when it comes to certain things that they do. And a lot of times we only talk about someone because we're trying to insult them. But I said, let me watch this video, this stream, and see if this is actually something that is constructive. And to say it wasn't is cutting it too fairly. This person took two videos of mine, well, two streams of mine. They took the one I made on the last chapter of Super, and they also took the one I made on the live show from last week. Now, the live show from last week is going to be a lot easier to address. I started off by talking about how I'm doing it earlier than usual because usually I try to do live shows at 6, but a lot of times I'm not able to because I don't know what's going to happen in between setting it up for 6 and then other people kind of like messing with my schedule. And sure enough, when I was doing the stream, I got interrupted by this person who said that they would come in an hour or 30 minutes. Basically my assumption that the person's theory of, oh, here I'll come at this time turned out to be correct, that they were, they didn't know what they were talking about. But I began the stream by explaining that, and I quickly shifted to other topics. I talked about, John Lewis and his death, and how people only ever seem to supposedly love these icons and talk about them when they die. It was very packed to the brim with a variety of topics. The problem is he plays literally less than the first 2 minutes of it, and then proceeds to, accuse me of doing a whole hour and a half stream to explain how someone didn't bring something to me, which was the most ludicrous thing in the world, because you didn't even watch half of the stream, much less the entire thing. So how would you be able to know that the entire thing was spent talking about this person who turned out to be a liar when it came to when they said they were coming over or not? The other video that he talked about was the chapter review stream I did, which really was more entitled. It was about the newest chapter of Super, but the reason it was an hour long was because I was reading what other people were saying about it, and we were talking about the whole arc in general. Now, mind you, this person's comment section, because they were doing a stream, one of the people in the stream says, "Oh, who would do an hour-long stream on one chapter?" This same person that they are supporting, that they are watching the content of, literally did a stream on this same chapter about 2 or 3 days before. Actually, no, I take that back. About 4 or 5 days after me. And would you like to know how long this stream they did on that same chapter was? An hour and 40 plus minutes. But it's okay when the person they like talks about one chapter for, in their case, almost 2 hours. But if I talk about it for an hour, oh my God, he's discussing this thing so much at length. And listen, I believe that people can offer good critiques of things. So I mentioned that if someone wanted to say, let's say, I have a problem with something I was stating about whatever given topic, that's fine. But when you run a stream that's an hour, this stream was over an hour long, and you decide to criticize me for, it's like 5 minutes, and then you just keep playing little clips of streams that are over an hour long, I don't see how that's fair. Because I could do that with anybody. I could go on their channel right now to whatever stream they've done. Let's say they do one that's, I don't know, 2 hours. And I go and play the first 2 minutes. And then I just jump off and I say, oh, that person didn't know what they were talking about. Well, you didn't even watch the majority of what they were saying. So how would you know if they knew? But no, that is still not the end of it, because this was a very, very loaded 4 minutes. I've never once, and look, I get when people are online, they say nasty stuff, they talk about things that don't matter. But I've never once, in the midst of, let's say, watching somebody on here, decided to say, to hell with what the person's actually talking about or what's being discussed. I'm going to focus all of my attention on their background. So this person indicated they did not like my couch, which is fine. I don't, whatever. But they also used it to accuse me of begging my subscribers for donations. Now you can go through and watch every stream I have done along with every video, and you'll see that when people donate, I react with surprise. And there's never been a single instance where I ask anybody on this goddamn website for fundraising or donations. That supposedly, by having a couch this person doesn't like, I'm using that as part of this scheme to solicit coins for my subs. And this is all his assessment after watching less than 5 minutes of my content. And it's really kind of disturbing, because I've actually talked about, Dragon Ball in videos that are scripted, that don't actually show me in it, and they're much more to the point. But notice they skip over those uploads so they can say ridiculous stuff like this. But I want to give you a little bit more of an indication of who this person is. This same user will oftentimes talk about being upset with the fact that people make videos where they insult his family. And he tries to paint himself as being this person who others just happen to go after. Now, when I watch, and when you hear someone say that kind of stuff, oh, all these people they're just messing with me. But then he decides to make a video where he goes after multiple people who not only are not doing anything to him currently, have never talked about him, like myself. And when you watch someone like that actually be able to get this whole crowd of people to, what's a good way to say it, agree with them, it's very disturbing because it shows you the hive mind mentality that's on this website. But no, the reason that the stream is titled the way it is, and also I just want to mention this as well because there again it was a loaded 4 minutes. I was accused by this person who did not like my couch of being broke. Now, I don't know how my couch would denote my wealth, but let's pretend that that's actually true and that I'm just this impoverished character. What would that have to do with the quality of my content? Is this person basically saying you have to be a millionaire to make a grade A video? and I noticed that was the theme of his critique. There was not a single word was said about what I was actually stating or doing in any of these videos, other than that brief clip at the start of my stream that still wasn't even the majority of what was talked about. And no one thinks that's weird. I've got listen, I'm 22. I had a 40-plus-year-old man, I guess, trying to compare my wealth to theirs, and no one thinks that's weird. We're literally living in an era with record levels of unemployment, and he wants to do a stream talking about this person is poor. Yeah, apparently that's not exactly a thing that is exclusive to me. But as I was sitting back and just kind of, because I was really shocked by that. I don't intend to go back to that person's channel. I was disgusted. When I talked about the person on Saturday, and I didn't mention this because I didn't think it mattered, but the person on Saturday was black. And the person who made this video yesterday was black as well. And I said to myself, why is it that every time someone on this site seems to do something really nasty, like just below the belt, bottom of the barrel ridiculousness, it's always another black person? And I usually don't bring race into it ever because I just never saw it as a productive dialogue. But it's the same group of people who are content creators as well. And what gets me about the one on Sunday is that if you watch him, will talk about how it's so difficult for black people to succeed on this website, and that it's these supposedly racist people that won't watch us and whatnot. And I'm like, well, if you truly believe that, how are you making the situation better by doing a stream attacking other black people for discussing the thing that you want to talk about? Oh no, it was ignorance, Terminator. He doesn't know what I own. But let's pretend that what he's saying about my wealth is true. What does that have to do with a video talking about a manga? I'm befuddled by that. There's no connection. Like I said, when I go on this website and I criticize people on here, whether that's TYT and it's usually them I do it the most to because I watch them and they get on my nerves the most. But you never see me talk about, look at what this person is wearing, look at their background, because it doesn't matter. And again, I believe people can give genuine critiques of my stuff. I've seen it sometimes written in the comment section, but when you get to a point where the, I guess, biggest opposition to what you're saying are people who aren't even addressing what you're saying, you have a problem there. Jimmy says they adopt white society thinking where wealth and the object is God. Well, I got to give the one on Saturday credit. At the very least, he didn't sit around trying to talk about, backgrounds and whatnot. It's just the idea that a man who's literally twice my age, I guess, wants me to be on his level of wealth or something. And it's like you've got a record levels of unemployment, where if anything should be expected is people genuinely falling on hard times. And you just don't care. You just act like everyone's supposed to be where you are. Two words just don't go together, black and unity. Yeah, but look, I can accept the fact if other black people on here don't want to do videos with me, don't want to watch me, whatever. It's just the idea that there's an extra hostility that I get from them that I don't get from other people. In this month alone, I have had 2 videos attacking me, and they're both by other black people. One has less than 100 subs. The other one has over 10,000. Now, and I also want to mention this because it just shows you the level of disgusting, like how there's basically no kind of civility or tact whatsoever. With the second person I talked about, the one that made the stupid comments about my background, he has previously said in the past that if you ask him, let's say, to do a collab with him, he'll say, "Oh, you only have this many subs, and I have 10,000 plus. So, I don't want to do it with you because it looks like you're trying to come up off my name." Now, as he's saying this, he's doing multiple videos a year on a person that has a channel that's 5 times his size. But also consider this. You won't do a collab with someone that is the size of myself or, lower, but you'll talk about us in a video and belittle us for multiple minutes to make your audience giggle. And that was the screwed up part. I was included as part of a, I guess, black male attack video, along with a person that same person I mentioned earlier who has 50,000 plus subs and does the stuff that he supposedly is so upset about, where they're saying that this show is going to come back even though it's never been confirmed to come back. They're putting up all this different fan art and saying that this stuff is going to happen. Literally a person I do the exact opposite of objectively, I got attacked with as well. Think about how crazy that is. I don't like that these person put up these clickbait thumbnails. My thumbnail is my face. I don't like that these people say this show is coming back this year or without the confirmation date being confirmed. I've never done that. And I got attacked just as well as the person who does. Also, the other thing he said is that supposedly when I'm adjusting my settings, sometimes and this is what I was talking about when I said people get really ridiculous with the things they state. Anyone knows that when you do a stream, it's impromptu, meaning that I don't have control over what exactly is going to happen when it's taking place. Someone could come in here and say something to me and I'd mute it. Or while I'm streaming, I might want to adjust the camera. There's a lot of stuff that's going on that because this isn't an edited video, I should be able to get away with because it's live. But because this person is ridiculously unfair, especially to members of their own ethnicity, you get attacked for not editing a video you can't edit. Terminator says it's quality, not quantity, and you're building quality. Oh, I appreciate that. But I just thought, well, this is the thing. He wouldn't know if I was building quality or not because he literally went to 2 streams that are over an hour long and plays the first less than 2 minutes of them. And supposedly that makes him informed on my quality of content. I was really more disturbed with the assessment he made of the live show from last week because we discussed a variety of things during that, which is typically what happens during each live show, which is why they end up being so damn long because I'm reading what people are writing and responding to it. I mean, it's almost like you would think he believes I just turn on a camera and for like a whole hour just talk to myself, which is not the case. Elliot says they sound like they have big egos. Well, it's just big hypocrisy. Remember, the same person who complains about people messing with him, making videos on him, and they're all bothering him, was going around yesterday making videos on and bothering other people. And he goes, "Oh, these black men on here are messing with me." What the hell was that yesterday? I went on the channel of I couldn't find all of them, but I went on the channel of at least 2 of the people that were in that video because it was a variety. None of them have a video on him. One of them actually in the past, because he's talked about them at least 4 or 5 different times, uh, came on his channel and wrote, some series of paragraphs. But again, even if you think that's unnecessary, objectively you have to concede that person probably wouldn't have written all that stuff to this man if he didn't make videos on him over and over again. And I watched those videos. He did the exact same thing to him. This person must be broke, and like, it's the same tropes over and over. And the person doesn't do what I do. They don't get on camera. They just must be poor because he doesn't like them. So if I don't like you, you have no wealth, which again does not affect the quality of the video you're making. Ranzil says that is what's wrong with people on this planet. They just can't stop bothering other people. Well, listen, I've seen people like try to discuss something I've said before somewhere else, and I can accept something like that because at the very least, you're addressing the comments or statements on my part. The problem arises when you try to depict yourself as being this little hobbit that doesn't bother people and all the mean YouTube individuals are messing with you, as you're making videos attacking a bunch of people who in some cases have never even heard of you. And look, these are not, when I talk about TYT or some other person, commentator, it's not like that. You don't see me sit there and go, I was watching this person's video and I didn't like their background, so they must be poor. And that somehow makes them a bad content creator because I think you have to have 6 figures to make a good video. It's completely different. I actually address what the person is stating. But, again, it seems that it's always another black person on here who is most steady to attack me in an unfair way. And this isn't even just about videos. You can go watch the video I did on Thursday about how romance dehumanizes men. There was a paragraph long comment where a person who called me a racial slur that we know that some black people like to use, so we can probably figure that it's a black person, wrote out all these different things that I was supposedly missing just by watching a less than 13-minute clip of me. They know what my wealth was. I mean, it's the same stupid stuff coming from the same group over and over. But yeah, on yesterday was pretty disturbing because I've never seen someone that is that hypocritical and doing that much. It's like, God, you sit here and you say it's so difficult for people to come up on this website while you attack someone that literally has not even 25% of the number of subs you have. And remember, we're all beneath him, but then who's making a video on who? Again, notice this is very similar to what happened on Saturday. The person claims I'm irrelevant or I don't matter, whatever, but then they make a video with me in it. And again, you never see me do that to the people I talk about, even like with Shapiro, Levin, Hannity, Carlson, any of these conservative commentators. You never hear it come out of my mouth. This person doesn't matter. That's why I'm making a video on them or multiple videos on them. You never see it because I don't try to make myself the creator of who's important and who's not. Granzil says some people just make on their own heads. I found out people just want something to complain about, then they are the ones causing the problem. Yeah, a man who complains about people messing with him goes around messing with people, making videos about a whole bunch of guys that don't even know who he is and haven't said anything about him. I'm tired of people on here talking about my family. It's like, but you're going around talking about our personal lives too. Like, how do you deride from not liking someone's background that they must have no wealth, that they're just this hobbit? Okay, King says they got with the okie dokie. It's how they get their following, talking opinions of others and treating and twisting them to get their following to follow the trendy way of thinking. Yeah. Uh, but like I said, every time this happens, it's always another black person. Like I'm so sick of going on videos made by about me by black men where it's them and some other well, I don't know what the other race the other people are, but it's them and some other man gossiping about me. And again, you can have a discussion about someone that is not what's a good way to say it, conducted in that type of way. So for example, if me and someone else decide to do a stream on, I don't know, one of the conservative commentators, we would actually talk about what that person has said. You wouldn't see us go, hey, I bet he's broke. I bet that he got his couch from a thrift store. You wouldn't see us do that. Because we don't claim to have a window into your soul. We don't pretend that we know more about you than what you stated. Oh, Terminator, if I did a video on him, he would respond very well. You know what? You just reminded me of something. Roughly 4 or 5 months ago, he was getting sick of people accusing him of messing with their channels because they were talking about him, and people were making like videos putting his name in the title. So he showed, I'm not going to say me, but he showed us as the audience a list of all the channels he had on this app where you block channels where you can't see them or anything they say. And it was like 30 or 40 people. And every single one of those people, usually what they do is they take clips of what he's saying and then they like put some like text in the video because for whatever reason people are afraid of getting on camera and talking about someone. But when that goes to what you're saying, Terminator, they can dish it out, but they can't take it. He can dish out all this nasty stuff in this stream, but then he can't take it so much that he has to block. I mean, you should have seen it. It was like 20 or 30 different people. King says it's the monolithic brainwashing they swear they're trying to dismantle. They're hypocrites. Well, to be fair, he never tries to associate himself with any of those groups. But my biggest issue with what he did is that he'll say these things about what people are doing to him, and then he'll do the exact same things as these people that he claims are so bad for doing what they're doing to him. Oh, they're making videos on me even though I've never bothered them. What the hell do you call what you did yesterday? Oh, they're bringing up my personal life and I criticize content. What the hell did you do yesterday when you were talking about what my wealth was because you didn't like my couch? Oh, they talk about stuff that doesn't matter. Like they were messing with my setup. What the hell do you just was yesterday when you were talking about my? Do you get what I'm saying? He literally is the troll himself, complaining about other trolls. And remember, this was a person I watched. So everything I'm saying about them, I can go and grab those videos and prove it. I just would rather, again, because I don't like drama. That's why I don't put their name in the title. That's why I don't say their name. And then Terminator said, Black unity is a joke without a punchline. Well, again, we don't need to be unified, but we sure as hell need to learn how to leave each other alone. Even with a lot of the upper content creators, you know, like because there are Black people on this website who have made it. You don't see me speaking disparagingly of them because I'm not trying to mess up what they're doing. And even if I did talk about them, I sure as hell would not base my critiques around stuff I can't prove. So if one of them actually was, let's say, poor, I'm not going to make that the subject of my stream when I can be talking about what they're actually stating. Dio, I'm glad Dio is here. I'm gonna go over to your channel, and even though you do an hour-long stream, I'm gonna take the first 2 minutes of it, and I'm gonna do a video of me going because that's a fair critique. And I'm also gonna accuse you of being poor because I don't like your audio or, you know, some other thing that has nothing to do with the quality of your life or video. I'm gonna make a lot of inferences about you because you did one thing. You have something I don't like in one of your videos. I just couldn't believe he would actually accuse me of begging my subs for donations. I've never done that. Like that is like Twilight Zone levels of just what are you talking about? I want to ask, there are 8 people here. Who has ever seen me go, please donate, please, please, please? Like that's what the guys who have the 500,000 channels do. Because that's why they don't read comments. That's them begging, where they like purposely ignore people to get them to donate to have their comment read. That's what they do. Have you ever noticed that when you go on one of those channels where it's like a bunch of subs and then literally the only time they read anything is when someone donates? That's them begging. Like that's crazy. Okay, Zeal says when people are comfortable with who they are as an individual, then they have a better of unity. Well, when you're comfortable with who you are as an individual, you usually don't care what other people are doing or project onto others. Like I don't know how you go from trying to critique someone for doing a supposedly hour-long video about a chapter, which it wasn't, uh, to making inferences about their wealth and who they've slept with and all this. Like it has nothing to do with what's being discussed. But those kind of unfair, ridiculous critiques, they always come from other Black people on this website. Like I can go through my comment section, like the video that's got the 200,000 views, the viral one, and I can show you various messages from people that had Black avatars talking about how I needed to get money up and shave and do all this crap that had nothing to do with the points I was making about some stupid behavior from some broads. But that's why I said you have the penis penalty on here. People will attack you for everything. Like I do it. Think of how crazy this is. Imagine you get up one day and you do a stream about, I don't know, some show, just a topic relating to entertainment. And as you're talking about this with your chat, and you guys are having like an enjoyable time, less than 2 weeks later, some person goes and grabs that video and goes, I don't like his background, so he must be poor. He must or nothing because I don't like his background, because there's no way that someone who has a background I don't like could ever not be poor. And again, even if I was, has nothing to do with the topic. It's not, it'd be different if I made a video and I was like, oh, look at how rich I am. I'm doing so well. I could then, at least in that scenario, it would make a little bit more sense to, say the things that were said. This was a damn stream about a chapter of a manga that some people were discussing. Zeal says, click, comment, subscribe, and don't forget to hit the notification button, donate to, and go to other pages, please, please. Now, you don't see me do any of that. I don't even tell people to comment or click or subscribe or anything, because we already know subs don't even mean anything. I saw a guy last year who had 12,000 subs, and he had 8 people watching him on his stream. Follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and Discord. I stopped using Instagram. I only use Twitter for like watching other people tweet, and I hate Discord. So all those websites are just awful. Though the worst one is probably Twitter, because that's where people act the craziest. It's like Twitter and Discord competing for who can be the most terrible. But I really do want to know, what is this thing with Black people online harassing other Black people online? Like every time I look at nasty comments written to me that I can still access, the grossest ones are by other Black people. And again, I'm not someone who believes that, whites aren't capable of writing nasty stuff too. I just think it's very strange that when disgusting videos like the 2 that were made on me this month are produced, they're by other Black people. When gross comments are written, the nastiest ones talking about what I own and whatnot, they're by other Black people. Like, why is that? And I do a lot of defenses of just Black people in general, like with that Candace Owen things. I get and you saw that on both of the streams I did, I was critical of all the stupid stuff she was saying. But I get very disgusted when I watch people say, oh, well, she gets paid by this person to have this opinion, because it infers that you can't, if you're a certain race, You're not allowed to think differently from the majority, as people know, most African Americans vote for the Democrats, that you're not allowed to objectively just like the other party more than the Democrats. That's been a big issue for me, because if you want to criticize a person for what they're saying, do that. You don't have to play this game of counting who's paying somebody. It's stupid. Dio says, I think people use bots when they have that many subs and 12 people watching. There is a Pokemon streamer that blew up and always 50 people in chat and only 12 all the time. Yeah, well, I still think it's mostly just subs, not watching. I saw a guy with 1 million subs. He only had 1,000 people watching him, which is literally 1,000th of 1,000. It's like 1,000th there. Buy my merchandise. I don't have any merchandise, Ruben. No, I just think it's very disturbing that people on this website would not only harp on stuff that has nothing to do with what I'm talking about, but also feel the need to, if they're Black, go after me in these really aggressive manners, while saying that it's so hard to come up on here. Like, I've never seen somebody who tries to pretend they get it, like they understand the difficulties of trying to make it on this website, while also attacking people on there who haven't made it. Like, at least when he was going after the guy with the 50,000 subs, in addition to that person doing things that he has said repeatedly he doesn't like, they at least to an extent have made it. But then you're going to go after someone who's not even like 1/10 of that person's size. It's literally the cliche of people from your demographic being resentful of you for not portraying a stereotype common amongst themselves. Well, that's the thing. He tried to lump me in as part of a stereotype. So he has this thing that he calls, what's a good way of saying it? He attacks young Black men as all being poor and messing with him and like bothering people. And whether you thought I was poor or not, it is confirmed I don't mess with people on here. Like, I don't get involved in most of the drama that goes on this site. So in a case like that, it's literally him taking someone that he knows nothing about and trying to lump them into this category with these other people. Because let's say I did a video on him tomorrow where I put his name and all that. That would still only be occurring because he made a video disparaging me. A scenario like that where I'm attacking him and saying, oh, you're whatever, that kind of thing he would have brought entirely on himself. And remember, he tries to depict himself in the way I'm acting now, where he doesn't bother anybody. That's the public image he attempts to have on his channel of these random people who are trying to come up off of his name, these evil trolls. But then you're acting like one by attacking people who've done nothing to you. And again, if it was a regular critique, oh, he said this and this was incorrect, whatever. But if you say someone's boring, I don't really know what else I can do about that, especially if you're talking about a stream where sometimes people don't show up immediately. I have to basically fill for time. If I do an edited video, it's much more to the point because I'm not there to wait for a crowd or for people to say stuff. So it's really just an unfair critique that I got attacked for no damn reason. Grand Seal, I don't like your couch, so you must be poor. And that affects the quality of your content. Oh, where's Ruben? Where did he go? I just saw Ruben's bedroom chair, and I'm not going to watch him anymore because that means he's poor. Because I don't like the way his chair looks. I've seen Ruben's chair, and I don't like it, so I'm not going to sub because that must mean he's poor, because anytime somebody owns something I don't like, that means they're impoverished, which still has nothing to do with the quality of their content, but whatever. No, the most scathing one was when he accused me of begging subs for doing that. That was That literally is like Twilight Zone stuff. I don't beg anybody here for anything. Find me the stream where I'm like, it's literally all they do. They'll target people who are minding their business and feel like they can dog on to get some attention. It's pathetic, really. Yeah, but people have been doing this for years. Like when I did the Wild Approach video, I typed in on Google. I found some black dude talking about N-word, you're tripping, just from like looking at the title. Again, it's always another black person who makes. And look, again, if you want to criticize what's in the video, be my guest. But you're literally doing a critique of a title, which I would think is the most unfair criticism in the world. Because, I mean, like if I go to the bookstore right now and I go, well, this novel right here, I don't like its title, I'm gonna put it back. It's like, but you didn't actually read what's in it. Again, it's always another black person on here who makes the ridiculous, unfair critiques, who says the nastiest stuff. Just for the hell of it. I could see if I did a video on him and then he responded back by, attack, like that would at least be something that was grounded in reality. But it's like a guy who makes, like, understand this. He's made well, remember this person, he criticized me for hour-long streams, right? This man has made 6-hour-long streams multiple times. He's made ones that are 4 hours, 3 hours. And again, this is all stuff I can prove. So, if anyone doesn't believe me, don't worry. We've got our proof of it. But it's like, how do you critique me for the length of my content, which usually is never over 2 hours, while you're putting up 3, 4, 6-hour streams multiple times? How does that happen? Where you get to decide how long something I make is, while you're making things that are longer. And I guarantee if I did a video where I went over to his 2-hour stream and I played the first 2 minutes of it and I said, oh, this is boring, he would get offended. He would say, hey, he didn't even watch most of my video. And listen, I don't, if someone doesn't want to watch a whole stream on like their stream, all they have to do is just go watch a video, like an upload I made, because I do, most of my stuff is uploads. So there's really no excuse to do a critique that like is really half, I don't want to say the word, but very, like very bottom of the barrel. Like it's half baked. It doesn't even try. It's just, let me play a clip of this person and go, ugh. Zeal says, laugh my go green screen and make a fake background and make it look like you're rich easy. Yeah, that's what he does because he has green screen. I mean, and I already, this is how unfair people are on here. I talked about how my background, so the one I had where I was at my desk, got, like torn up for this floor crap. And it's always someone who wasn't there that blames me for that anyway. But, like I can't set something up like that because I don't control all the little stuff that gets moved around here. But apparently that, that must make, because I don't use a green screen, I'm now poor. I'm going to be outside collecting cans. Why are you poor? Well, I didn't use green screen on YouTube. So if you have a green screen, you are rich. You're very wealthy. I did notice that everybody he talked about was not using green screen. Well, the one guy that has the 50,000 subs, he doesn't even appear on camera, ever. Outside of this one channel that he has. So maybe that's the secret key to avoiding these unfair critiques of me. Your money I have seen because you don't use green screen. I know how wealthy you are, even though I've never met you by far. I know my critiques, stupid, they do sound, but this is what happens When you watch the videos of a clown. Yeah, they'd love to just have a problem with somebody. I can't believe he would talk for an hour as I talk for 6 hours and 3 hours and 4 hours. No, Zeal, imagine if I went on here and I was like, no one can make a video that's longer than 40 minutes. And then I'm over here with hour plus long streams. And again, people should be able to make, whatever length video they want. But it's like, you literally do 6-hour streams. And you have the nerve to tell somebody about, I'm not going to sit here for an hour of this. It's like, what? Again, because I don't want to reveal who this is, I'll just allude to what I'm talking about. He did a stream that was he got in trouble for, and I think it was like September or October. That was 4 hours long. So what I'm saying is he repeatedly does very very long videos, but then wants to tell somebody about how he's not going to sit through something that's not even half as long as some of the stuff he made. And again, a lot of times the streams end up that way because he has other people, because they do a thing where sometimes he'll go on Discord and have somebody get on the stream with him. There's a lot of factors that come into play. But the point is, he still makes videos that are way longer than anything I make. But for some reason, he's allowed to make videos that are that long. I'm not. And he also can talk about you without you saying anything about him and not be a troll. But then he'll complain about people making videos about them, which automatically makes them trolls and then block you. I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do a video on TYT, and then if they do a video back, like respond to me, be like, "Oh, they're trolling me." It's like, but you talked about them. God, the people on this website. I'm sorry, the black people on this website. Because again, I've only ever had, if, to my knowledge, 2 people make disparaging comments about me in a video, and both of them were black. And I don't understand what the incessant desire is for these people to try and feel better about themselves by attacking me. Like, how does that help them? And there's just too much like irony and hypocrisy. Like, I'm so sick of watching other black men talk about me in a video, and then in the comment section or on the video itself, this person is not big enough for me to discuss or to talk to or have a collab. But then it's like, well, then why the hell did you talk about me in this video? Like, isn't that weird? Like I said, you've never seen me do a video on somebody and I go, this person is nothing, they're insignificant. Then why the hell are you talking about them? Even when I was doing the how romance humanizes men video, it's like I showed the screenshots of those people and I cut their names out, but I didn't say they were irrelevant. It was like, yeah, this is a comment that's really it's relevant for how gross it is, but you're not going to see me do that. Is what I'm saying. It's like they want to have their cake and eat it too. They want to make a video on you where they talk about how, like, about you in a disparaging manner, but then they also want to say that you don't matter. You are describing what Ethan Clan and Keemstar are doing right now, except that Nets and I are both who are hypocritical trolls. Well, yeah, the guy is really hypocritical. It's like, oh, I know it's so difficult for black men to come up on YouTube, which is why I'm going to attack someone that has less than a fifth of the subs I have, while also attacking someone that has 5 times the subs I have. I'm so tired of these trolls making videos on me as I'm trolling and making videos on 3 or 4 different people. I wish other black men on here would stop messing with me as I literally target other black men to put in my attack video. Oh, he loves doing that. I have a real life and I have a job. It's like, but I'm not the one making a 6-hour stream. I'm not the one surfing the web to find videos of multiple people to talk trash about that have never done anything to me. Like, you had to find me. That's what I'm saying. These people live on the internet and they become keyboard, but can back. Oh, well, he loves doing that. Come meet me. Come to my house. Yeah, Ruben, this is my last stream because yeah, but no, Ruben, he tells you to come to his house. Like he has a problem with you, but then you have to come to where he is. This is my last stream because this black person on this website doesn't like it, even though he watched less than 3 minutes of either one. He gave a well informed, reasonable breakdown of why my streams are of low quality. He's the same person who says he doesn't care about YouTube, but then monetizes all his videos. And was like, I think he was flagging people that were re-uploading his stuff. It's like if you don't care about it, why would you do that? But again, it's just the hypocrisy just persists. And when you are a man on here, you can't catch any breaks. Because like the whole point of me bringing up the stuff he said about the other person is that I literally do, and just think about this. I literally do the exact opposite of this other person he was critiquing, and I still got talked about in a disparaging manner. I hate it when people use clickbaity thumbnails. Uses no clickbaity thumbnails. I hate it when people say that this show is coming back when there's no confirmation date. I've never said that, and I still get put as part of the this person is poor and bad and evil like a video that he did. I've never seen a stream like that before where, and it's like if you wanted to criticize something, you pick literally the one thing I can't edit. You know what I mean? Like you'll pick someone's not worst video, but just the stuff that they. I mean, by virtue of being a stream, I can't edit it. What is he doing when he's clicking on his screen? What is that? Arr! Oh, yeah. I already have that other account. If you've seen my comment section, writing all that stuff. Let me get into a post for him since he's so worried about my couch. Let me do a little post. He's very poor because I don't like his couch. Because I've never met someone that has a couch that I don't like that actually had something. I'm doing a little post for him since he likes my background. He likes to look at me in all my different angles. To hell with what someone's actually saying, right? Like nobody thinks that's weird. And look, I don't like to insult people with like the feminine innuations or insinuations, but I thought it was women that get like off like into that stuff about backgrounds and what someone has and whatnot. Yeah, I don't like the color of your wall. It's too plain. Imagine we do like a poll. I'm like, 2 votes for red, 3 votes for blue. I don't like your background, so you must be poor. You have a couch I don't like, so that affects the quality of your video. That's supposed to be just for Patreon subs. Yeah, you would think. Hell News, I don't like your avatar, so I know you're poor. I don't like the corner you placed your couch in. Yeah. I'm gonna go get Shawn Michaels' theme song. You must be impoverished because you have a couch I don't like, and I am the great decider on wealth. Make sure to give me money on Bitcoin. Yeah, I never asked subs for donations, and he really said that from my setup, he could tell I was begging for money. That is crazy. What the hell? I told you when you look at some of the comments I get, like not the videos, but like the comments I get, you would think this is like a fashion show. If you saw how all these different people were like, "How tall are you? You need to wear this." I'm like, you guys can go. This is damn. I don't even know what they're watching. Like they were weird. I'll double your Bitcoin only for the next 30 minutes. No, I just never thought I'd see the day where other men would talk about like background and what you have on, and it's always a dude. God, this website has like the most homoerotic overtones in the world. I don't like your couch, so I know how much you own. But I told you, it's always other black people. And I don't know why. Like, it's such a strange phenomenon. Where in an era where people are talking about how evil the whites are and whatnot, it's like it's others blacks that are attacking me the most. And I'm not even doing anything to these people. Like that guy I mentioned that did the stream yesterday, he he did a video where he purposely went out and found other black people talking about the same thing as him to attack. Like deliberately, if you were black and you talked about this, you got included as part of his video where he, knows how much you own because he doesn't like your chair or your background or whatever. So I'm saying that I can literally prove via the people that appeared in that video, he did that on purpose. I'm tired of other black men messing with me as I put all of their videos in one and they get surprised when they respond to me. God, the people on this, it's really crazy how every one of these websites is ruined by the people on it. Like, I don't get tired. The main reason I put up with stuff on here is I don't actually dislike making videos. I just dislike the response to them where I'll sit here for an hour or for some other like long continuous period of time speaking fairly eloquently, and then you'll get caught up in the minutia of someone's background and their outfit, and all this stuff doesn't matter. And then somebody makes a comment, I only watched the first 4 minutes. Well, I'm only going to read the first sentence of what you wrote. But that's what makes me the most like non-interested in doing content, like just the way people respond, because it's not fair critiques, it's just BS. I don't like Dio's avatar, so he must be poor. And it affects the quality of his videos somehow. Just read the first word. Yeah, I'm gonna have to start doing that. God, I really hate just. But I do hope the points I made were able to come through. That I've noticed a phenomenon where when I get critiqued the most unfairly on here, it's by other Black people, and I don't understand why that is, because I don't bother other people on here, let alone other Black people. And I find it most disturbing that when you try to like avoid the, because what he did to me yesterday just proves you're just always going to be under attack no matter what you do. The person that he mostly critiques, I literally do the exact opposite of, and still got insulted. I didn't get insulted for the things I was saying. I got insulted for doing this as I'm adjusting my settings for my, what I'm sitting on. Just like nothing that had to do with what was being said in the video. First word is just and you base your entire opinion on that guy and what he said on that. Remember, he came on an hour-and-a-half stream and watched less than the first 2 minutes, and by that was able to deduce that I was begging my subs for money because he didn't like my couch, and got like so annoyed for me tapping on my screen to adjust the settings. God, people on here are so damn nitpicky, I swear. I don't like that you were tapping your screen, so your video is bad, even though I only watched less than 2% of it. And again, if you watch his subs, they all, it's the hive mind. Yeah, yeah, oh yeah, this person is definitely poor because they have this background I don't like, and I've never seen someone who has a background I don't like that actually is not poor, and that apparently has an effect on the quality of their video. I mean, it was a complete hive mind. It was like we talked about the Borg from Star Trek. That's what they were, the collective. We know he is. He literally admitted he just watched. We saw him in the video click on it for less than 2 minutes, and then he knows all this stuff about me. Like, and I was so grossed out by what I saw in that upload. I didn't even want to play it on here because remember on Saturday I played the other video of the person. I'm not even going to play the one that he made. I'm just tired of getting attacked on here repeatedly. And again, it was by someone who literally says, I will not go after people who don't do these things, or that, when you do these things, he gets most upset. And then if you do the opposite, you still get attacked. Ruben, imagine if I said to you, I'll attack you if you have misleading thumbnails, put false information, then you do none of that, and then you still get attacked by me. But like I said, it wasn't about like yesterday in that stream that he did. That wasn't about me doing something wrong. That was about trying to attack any Black man that he could. Because even when I did the opposite of that person he started that video off with, I still got thrown into the mix. So it was a deliberate attempt to go after people for their ethnicity. And again, I don't bother people on here. And I certainly, if I were to, let's say, attack someone on here, you're not going to see me attack two people who do the exact opposite of each other just because they're the same race. I can't wait to get blamed for that. He didn't stop somebody from coming in. That's his fault too. People are crazy. Always have been, always will be. All you really can do is try to avoid them. I even have to avoid some of them. Yeah, but this isn't about me avoiding people. This is a person who literally critiques people for doing a set thing, and then you don't do that set thing, and then you still get attacked with people who do that set thing, not because of some alternate behavior that's so horrible, but because you're the same race as these people. I wish other black people on here didn't act like that. Like, I actually have morals and certain stuff I won't do, and I still will not put someone's name in a video and attack them, when they've done nothing to me. The closest you can get is like with the TYT thing. That's a group of people who has 4 million subs. And again, even when I'm going after them, I'm not like, it's still completely different. You don't see me say, "Look at Jenk's couch or his background. He must be broke. That's why he's asking his subs for donations." You don't see me do that. Like, it's way more respectful. It's way more direct in addressing the points the person is making. I mean, who gives a damn? This isn't the fashion show. Why do we care about what someone is sitting on? Anyways, I'm gonna get off of here. I hope what I was saying was actually heard this time. Probably not. Thanks for showing up. I'll be streaming again on Saturday. See you. Oh my God, look at Rev deciding to show up at the last minute. Rev, I know from your avatar that you probably can't afford things and you're broke and poor and you beg your subs for money. Yeah. And I also know from the fact that you showed up an hour late that you probably live in a dumpster. And I'm going to attack people who make Dragon Ball videos for clickbait and other misleading information. But then if you don't use clickbait or misleading information, I'm going to attack you because you're the same race as those people. Well, even though this person does the complete opposite of the people I'm talking about, because they're of the same ethnicity, they must be the same as them. Oh, yeah. Telling you, Rev, I've never had that. Like, when I click on the stream, I was like, what? Really? Oh, he responded, by the way. If you go and look, and his response was, because I made the points I'm making here, but in a much more condensed way because he, hates paragraphs or whatever. His response to that was, "Yep." So you already know he doesn't even use his brain when he actually writes something back to people. Yeah, but it wasn't like it's a response, but it still isn't. Like, you don't address anything I'm saying in that 2 sentences. You just say yes or yep or whatever. You know what I'm saying? It's not, he addressed it, but he still didn't. He didn't directly respond to what I was stating. Maybe I'll do a video where I just have like a green face or something, or I'll stop appearing on camera. Maybe I'll stop getting attacked by members of my own ethnic group for being black. Because that's literally what that was yesterday. You do the opposite of these other black people that I say I don't like because of things they do, but I'm going to include you in anyway because you're black. I swear there is a cancer killing this website, and it's not the YouTube algorithm. It's not people subbing and then not watching videos. It is people targeting those who have done nothing to them and who they say are doing the exact opposite of the behavior that they claim they're so ardently opposed to. Yeah, well, he won't be reading any more comments from me, that's for sure. Anyways, I'm about to get off of here. I'll see you later.